I shut down certain baby names because of how people would treat my child. My wife and I were sitting on the couch going through baby name apps when she said the name that made my whole body tense up. She looked at me with this excited smile. I've always loved this name. What do you think? I stared at her for a long moment. Absolutely not. Her face fell instantly. What do you mean absolutely not? You didn't even think about it. I don't need to think about it. That name is off the table. She put her phone down and crossed her arms. You can't just veto names without giving me a reason. This isn't a dictatorship. I took a deep breath. Some names carry weight you don't understand. She looked at me like I'd lost my mind. It's a beautiful name. Classic. Timeless. What could possibly be wrong with it? I didn't answer right away. My hands were shaking slightly. I hadn't told her this story yet. I'd been avoiding it for years. When I was 7 years old, there was a kid in my class with an unusual name. Let's call him Calvin. Not because that was his name, but because what happened to him happened because of his name. Calvin's parents thought they were being unique, creative. They wanted their son to stand out. He stood out all right. Every single day, kids would mock him. Teachers would mispronounce it on purpose. Substitutes would pause at his name during roll call, and the whole class would snicker before they even tried to say it. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was watching Calvin slowly disappear. First grade, he was loud and happy. By third grade, he stopped raising his hand. By fifth grade, he ate lunch alone in the library. By middle school, he transferred to a different district entirely. His parents gave him a name they loved. The world made him pay for it. My wife's expression softened. That's really sad, but the name I suggested isn't weird. It's normal. I looked at her. You think it's normal because you grew up in a different environment? What's that supposed to mean? I pulled out my phone and typed the name into Google. Then I showed her the results. Article after article, studies, statistics, names that get fewer callbacks on job applications, names that teachers subconsciously grade harder, names that make people assume things before they've even met you. My wife read quietly for a few minutes. Her face changed as she scrolled. I didn't know this was a real thing, she whispered. It's real, and our kid is going to deal with enough challenges in life without us adding one before they're even born. She put her phone down and looked at me with tears forming in her eyes. I just wanted something meaningful, something connected to my grandmother. I reached for her hand. We can find something that honors your grandmother without setting our child up for a harder path. She nodded slowly, but then her mother called. The next day, my mother-in-law showed up at our door unannounced. She walked in without knocking and immediately started in on me. My daughter tells me you're controlling the baby's name, that you're vetoing family traditions. I stayed calm. I'm trying to protect my child. From what? A beautiful name that's been in our family for 4 generations? From a world that judges people before giving them a chance? She laughed. That's the most dramatic thing I've ever heard. You're being ridiculous. I pulled out my phone again, showed her the same research, the studies, the statistics, the real-world consequences of names that carry certain assumptions. She barely glanced at it. That's all nonsense. My grandmother had that name and she did just fine. Your grandmother lived in a different era, different circumstances, different world. She turned to my wife. Are you really going to let him dictate this? My wife looked at me, then at her mother, then back at me. He's right, Mom. Her mother's face went red. This is ridiculous. You're both being paranoid. She stormed out without saying goodbye. That night, my wife and I sat together looking at name lists. She found one that had a similar sound to her grandmother's name. Same first letter, same meaning, but without the baggage. She looked at me. What about this one? I smiled. That's perfect. Our daughter is 2 now. Her name gets compliments everywhere we go. Teachers remember it easily. Other kids can pronounce it. She's already confident in a way Calvin never got to be. Last month, my mother-in-law finally admitted I was right. She'd read one of the studies I'd sent her years ago. I didn't say I told you so. I just hugged my daughter a little tighter.